Mint Julep Murder by Carolyn G. Hart. This book is read by Kate Redding. Author's Note: It was a pleasure to set a mystery on Hilton Head, the island that inspired the creation of Broward's Rock in Death on Demand. I hope I've provided enough of a glimpse of the island to bring happy memories to my readers who have vacationed there, and to encourage others to discover its spacious beaches, moss-draped live oaks, and tranquil lagoons. Everything in the book is true to the island except the Buccaneer Hotel, which I have placed just to the north of the Coligny Beach entrance, where the Breakers Villas stand, and Benedict Books, which is a composite of the several charming bookstores on the island. The Dixie Book Festival is my own creation. It would be a tight fit on the Coligny Beach entrance plaza, but it could be done. And wouldn't it be fun? Chapter 1. The flurry of faxes began a week before the Dixie Book Festival. Sherry Felton's first fax was circumspect. Sherry was well aware of her best-selling author's temperament. She had a queasy feeling that she was damned if she did and damned if she didn't, but a long-distance outburst was infinitely to be preferred over a face-to-face explosion. Fax 1. From Sherry Felton to Leah Vixen Kirby. Dear Leah, Biddy Maxwell tells me a Georgia publisher named Kenneth Hazlitt has approached her with an idea for a novel, a steamy sex and tell piece, all about some famous Southern writers and their indiscretions, at a conference. He hinted to Biddy that it's a roman à clef. She's shopping the idea around. Your latest sales figures are super. The paperback of Love's Lost Splendor is shipping like hotcakes. See you at Hilton Head. Best, Sherry. It came as no surprise to Sherry when her fax machine signaled incoming material. Fax 2. From Leah Kirby to Sherry Felton. Dear Sherry, Kenneth Hazlitt is a mediocre publisher, and he couldn't write a decent novel if somebody handed him a mouse with an IQ of 200 plus. He's a buffoon who loves Dracula, Frankenstein, and Little Orphan Annie with the Statler brothers bellowing in the background. But who gives a damn about quality? How much sex, and who are the main characters? If I could get a spot on Oprah, Love's Lost Splendor would sell 5 times what it's doing now. I must talk to you about publicity. And whose idea was it to schedule my festival signing at 4 o'clock? They've got to be kidding. I want 9 a.m., and I mean it. As ever, Leah. Sherry read as the fax paper oozed out. Damn. It was too late to change autographing times. The conference program was already printed. Leah knew that, of course. But who expected the world's most famous author of Civil War novels to give a damn about minor facts, like printed programs? Sherry debated calling the festival programmer. Maybe they could put up a sign announcing a time change at the information booth. Oh, hell, what a bother. She didn't reach for the phone. Instead, her eyes glinting with malice, she waited 30 minutes, then dispatched a reply. As always, she used her author's full name. One had to take pleasure where one found it. Fax 3. From Sherry Felton to Leah Vixen Kirby. Dear Leah, the programmer regrets being unable to change your autographing time. The committee wants the most famous author available at 4 p.m. The local TV promises a crew, and they feed to CBS. Lots of sex, according to Biddy. And the cast of characters includes the most famous author of Civil War novels, the author of the latest male romance novel a la Bridges and Love Story, the author of Southern Sojourns of the Soul, the author of good old boy diatribes against blacks, Jews, feminists, and women in general, and the world's best-selling mystery writer. Oh, and congratulations upon your receiving a medallion at the festival. I'll be sure and attend the ceremony. Best, Sherry. Fax 4. From Leah Kirby to Alan Blake, Missy Sinclair, Jimmy J. Crabtree, Emma Clyde. Dear fellow medallion honorees, FYI, Kenneth Hazlitt is shopping a proposal using thinly disguised, if disguised at all, characters patterned after all of us. Remember Winwood? The sorry bastard. Leah Kirby. Facts 5. From Emma Clyde to Leah Kirby, Alan Blake, Melissa Sinclair, Jimmy J. Crabtree. Dear fellow honorees, I smell a medallion-sized rat. Best regards, Emma. Fact 6. From Errol Beatty, publicist, to Leah Kirby, Emma Clyde. Dear Ms. Kirby and Ms. Clyde, Mr. Crabtree is presently on a book tour. I will bring your faxes to his attention when I speak to him this evening. Best wishes, Errol Beatty. Fact 7. From Alan Blake to Leah Kirby, Emma Clyde. Dear Leah and Emma, let's talk when we arrive at the festival. They're putting me up at the Buccaneer. Fondly, Alan. Facts 8. From Melissa Sinclair to Leah Kirby, Emma Clyde. Ladies, I'll call Kenneth. Ciao, Missy. Facts 9. From Melissa Sinclair to Leah Kirby, Emma Clyde. Dear Leah, Emma, the dolt's excited out of his mind. He says Barker, Dunwoody, and Kell is interested. This is all on the basis of a 3-page proposal. I can't believe this. By the way, who picked us as medallion winners? Does anybody know? Kenneth swears the medallions have no connection with his book, and the Republican National Committee is proposing Clinton for the Nobel Peace Prize. I am not a happy camper. Should we cancel, Missy? On a separate sheet faxed solely to Leah Kirby, Missy appended the following. P.S. The writer of Civil War novels is a redhead who always wears green, and there's a broad hint of sexual dalliance, not with her spouse. In her Belle Meade mansion in Nashville, Leah Kirby savagely crumpled the fax. She was a strikingly beautiful woman, tall and slender, with hair as fiery as molten lava. Today's silk suit was a soft jade. Footsteps sounded in the hallway. Leah jammed the fax into her pocket as her husband Carl entered the room. Carl Kirby was slender, 60, with thinning gray hair. His face was pale and drawn, but when he saw Leah, his mouth curved into a cheerful smile. It looks great on the Interview with People. They'll focus on you as the greatest living writer of tender love stories. His voice was full of pride, for Leah, of Leah. The People crew wants to follow us around for a week or two, maybe right after the festival. They want to get the flavor of our true-life love story. He stepped close, held out his arms. Leah moved into his embrace, pressed against him. The fax crackled in her pocket. Chapter 2. What do you mean they want to give me less for the next contract? Jimmy J. Crabtree smacked the table and shifted the wad of chewing tobacco in his right cheek with his tongue. That's a mother load of crap, Harold. No way am I going to accept less than $500,000. You aren't selling, Jimmy J. That's the bottom line. The returns on your book are running around 80%. You're lucky they're even willing to talk a new contract. And Buzzy's not positive he can get it by the editorial board even if your advance is cut in half. A thoughtful pause. Truth is, things go in cycles in publishing, Jimmy J. Limbaugh, Grisham. Nobody could believe their sales figures. Outer space. So everybody started publishing down-home think pieces and lawyer books. Limbaugh and Grisham are still at the top of the charts. Jimmy J. waited. But his agent didn't go ahead to say the obvious. The clones weren't coming through. Readers wanted the real thing. Jimmy J's mean little mouth closed in a tight, hard line. He couldn't trust himself not to fire Harold on the spot. But Harold was one of the best literary agents in New York. If Harold couldn't get him a new contract... Talk to you later. Jimmy J slammed the phone down. It wasn't his fault. He was just as good as Limbaugh. Better, because he really laid it on the line. He didn't bother to try and be cute. He told it straight out, and if people didn't like it, they could take a flying leap. If his book wasn't selling...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?